Welcome back. Welcome back to the We're Just Girls podcast. We are your hosts,
Lana Hart
and Aaron O'Day. And we're just girls who sometimes read books and sometimes go to work and sometimes cry a lot. And
every day.
Get really scared all the time. Yeah, that's who we are.
That's
you know
us.
what? And that's the episode, guys.
That's it. So today I'm gonna trauma dump about my insecurities and how I know my Zoloft is working.
Okay, perfect.
And why we didn't have an episode last week. And then we'll talk about the books we're reading.
Give a little Fourth Wing update, because guys, I've actually made a little bit of progress.
She's made some progress on Fourth Wing. Since the last time we recorded, I read the entire first Crescent City book. And
rub it in, why don't you? Guys!
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Do you want me to trauma dump first and then we'll have book talk?
Yes.
Okay. So,
yes.
trauma dump time. So we didn't have an episode last week because we were going the fuck through it, both of us. We were on our periods. We had so much going on. We were miserable. Monday I sobbed.
Love it.
For like half the day. So I started my new clinical Monday, and you know, it was weird transitioning to a new place. I spent 12 weeks at my last one, got comfortable there, loved it, had a great relationship with my supervisor. I'm at my new clinical for not even an hour. And my supervisor tells me she's already disappointed in me. And
how? Why? What did you do?
Because of my communication before I started.
Interesting.
And so I'm there for not even an hour, and she like has a talk with me, and she's going over some things, and then she's like, oh, and like while we're talking about things, I wanted to let you know I'm already kind of disappointed in you and your communication, and gave me all the reasons for it, which honestly, guys, it wasn't that bad. I've talked to a lot of people about this, and everyone is like, okay, she was a bit that was overreacting. She told me I have to work back up from a deficit now for my midterm, so it's going to be harder for me to meet my standards for communication by midterm. So that was within the first hour of my new placement on Monday, and it's like period. And normally we record episodes on Monday, so when you told me you were having a crappy day Monday, I was like,
yeah, good. That's fine.
That's fine. I'm just going to be crying the rest of the day. Anyways, I sobbed my car ride home.
Love it.
And then I called my mom, and then I cried again.
Love it.
So that was Monday. And then Tuesday, I'm back on campus for school. And this is going to be really awkward if any of them listen to it. But you know what? Not really, because they're the ones who did it, I guess. So, and it wasn't really anything that bad. It's just, you know, my insecurities has always been people not liking me and just being a people pleaser and wanting to be liked by everyone and feeling like I'm an unlikable person. So there's my insecurities and trauma, everybody. And Tuesday, I'm at lunch with some of my school friends, and my one school friend, she's like, oh yeah, I was Snapchatting this guy, and went to show me a snap, like him on Snapchat. And when she went to show me her Snapchat, she quickly pulled it back to her because the top Snapchat was a Snapchat group chat of all of them but me. There's like three of them, so there's 4 of us and 3 of them and then me, which I already kind of felt like I was the outsider of them, but then seeing that kind of just confirmed it. And really, I don't care that much, but part of it was like,
it just doesn't feel nice.
Yeah, and part of it was like the reaction too, of being like, oh, I'm going to show you this, realizing it, and then, like, hiding it. Because then clearly you feel some type of way if you feel the need to hide it.
Like, because we have a friend group where we have separate group chats where one or two people aren't in it. And there's, like, a specific reason for that, and there's nothing wrong with it. But the fact that they were like, oh, wait, you're not allowed to see this just makes it feel a little bit suspicious. Like, why am I not in this group chat, and why don't you want me to know that you have a group chat without me in it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, obviously, your first thought is like, oh, well, they use that group chat to talk shit about me. Otherwise, why would they hide it from me?
Yeah. I don't even think it's a talking shit type of thing, which, I mean, they probably have a little bit, if I had
That's
to
where
guess.
my mind always goes first.
I probably, if I had to guess. But also, like, we haven't been on campus since December, like mid-December. So I've only talked to them, like, a little bit on and off since then, and like the four of us have a group chat without the whole six of us that was our original friend group. So it's kind of weird. I'm like in a weird tier where it's like, okay, I'm not included in the two that are like excluded. Like I'm not annoying enough that they're actively,
you're not all the way out, but you're not all the way in.
Exactly. So I'm like in this weird mid-tier where I'm like, they don't hate me, but they don't love me. And so that's why I know my Zoloft is working, because normally something like that would send me into a deep spiral. Especially, I was on my period last week, and that was Tuesday, the day after the thing with my supervisor at my new field work. So I'm like, 2 days in a row, I'm having things where that's my phone. It's on the chair, so it's like vibrating through me.
What is that?
But yeah, so I had a horrible fucking week at the start of the week, because 2 days in a row I was like, everyone hates me and I'm a horrible person.
You
and
already feel that way on your period, and then to have some evidence to back it up, you're like, God dang it.
Especially when it's one of my like biggest insecurities and one of the biggest things I've always struggled with is like friendships and just feeling like I'm a Nesta, because I'm an unlikable person. What? But yeah, so that's how I know my Zoloft's working, because instead of falling into a deep hole that I didn't want to come out of, I was just like, okay.
We love Zoloft.
I was following the like Mel Robbins let them theory. I'm like, you know what, I'm like, it's not my problem.
You've got me.
Exactly.
And you've got our other friends.
Exactly. I also think Dad? It's probably this fucker over here the reason why my phone's going off.
Dad? The way he just peeked his head in, like, okay.
But he probably realized every time he was hitting send, he's like, oh, that's when it goes off. It's our group chat probably about going to Nashville, if I had to guess.
Guys, we're going to Nashville. We planned a trip with our buddies. We're going to Nashville to see Coldplay. And we're so excited. It's our second time going back to Nashville together. The first time was one of the best,
peak of our existence.
It genuinely was the best 4 days of my whole life.
It was.
Like, it was so phenomenal.
We just looked so good.
Oh
we
my God.
felt so good.
I feel like I was made to be a Southern belle.
Yeah.
Because, like, that style fit me so well, and I felt so confident in that style. Oh, I can't wait to go back and just be that girl again. Be Nashville Erin.
It's gonna be
I'm so
awesome. Excited. Stumbles and Stumbles Jr.
Yes, that's our Nashville nickname, because
But here's
we were stumbling.
we were stumbling. It was Sunday at like 1 p.m. and we were stumbling.
The next day,
oh my gosh.
We were blacked out at 1 p.m. stumbling through the streets of Nashville.
The flight home
was hell on earth.
Oh,
I didn't think I was gonna make it. I thought I was gonna perish.
I did not think we were gonna survive.
I literally had to dunk my face the next morning. The Monday morning we were flying out, I had to fill up a huge bowl of ice water and just dunk my face in it. And then that like relieved my hangover for like a few minutes. I felt great. And then I was like, no, it's coming back. And I was like, I'm gonna take an ice cold shower. So I went and took an ice cold shower, and then I had my fiance come in and have that bucket of ice water and just dump it down my back. And it was painful as hell, But it did the trick
helped for a bit.
For like an hour.
Yeah.
Then we got in the car to drive to the airport, and I was like,
it was.
Yeah, it was.
It would hit us in waves, and it was funny because it hit us in waves at the same exact time. Like me and you were like, "Oh, we're good," and then I would start feeling horrible, and I would look over at you, and I'd be like, "She's feeling exactly how I'm feeling right now."
We were on the same roller coaster.
I
ride.
was terrified for taking off.
That flight was also a scary flight.
Yes.
Getting home, we were like, okay, this pilot has somewhere to be right now.
Because our flight kept getting delayed. Our flight was delayed like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
We
were
landed
in that airport forever.
Yes, because we already were getting there early because of when we had to check out of our Airbnb. And then it kept getting delayed.
Like 4 hours.
But our flight got delayed like an hour and a half, and we only landed like 15 minutes later than our original time to land or some shit like that.
Oh, the pilot found a shortcut.
I was like, what the fuck do you mean the pilot found a shortcut?
Oh my God. But yeah, that pilot had somewhere to be.
Let me tell you, he did not want to work overtime.
No, he had somewhere to be. He had to get somewhere because we got home so fast, which it was nice because we didn't have to be on the plane for as long, but you could tell we were going fast as hell.
Oh yeah.
Like I could feel it. There was
bumpy.
Turbulence. Oh my God. It was windy. It was we were definitely going with the wind. But it was an interesting flight. But we made it. We survived.
I was so scared.
And now we can't wait to go back and do it all again.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, our flight home is much later in the day this time.
Yeah.
So we'll have time to recuperate if need be.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we'll have time to get hammered if need be.
Honestly. We can get hammered and fly home hammered. I've actually never been drunk in an airport, and I feel like I always hear that's what people love about flying is just being able to drink any time of day.
It's pretty fun. I did it with my siblings on our way to California for our cousin's wedding. My dad has like the American Airlines like platinum membership or whatever, where you get like the free drinks on the plane. So the three of us were sitting together, and my brother was like, "I'll take 4 whiskeys." And me and my sister were like, the two of us will take 4 vodkas, like 2 each. And we just kept drinking the whole flight. We got drunk on the plane. It was so much fun. We were drunk when we showed up to California to hang out with all our cousins. It was so much freaking fun.
That would be fun.
And then the flight home was not fun.
Oh, yeah. That's the one where you were.
That was the worst flight of my life. Here's a story for you guys. That flight home from California, we were flying home. And it was like the day after my cousin's wedding. We were drinking all day and all night. We had a flight at like 8 a.m. I was drinking until like 6 a.m. Like I had to keep going. I just had to. And then I fell asleep for like 40 minutes and then had to get up and go to the airport. And that flight home was a nightmare. I threw up maybe 7 times on that flight. And the one time
so horrible.
The one time all of the bathrooms were taken, so I had to try to go to the first class one. And one of the flight attendants tried to stop me, and I was, like, covering my mouth, like, clearly about to vomit. And she was like, "Oh, my God, go, go, go." And I couldn't find where the bathroom was in first class because the sign was not directly above the door to the bathroom, how it is on every other plane or every other bathroom on the plane. It was, like, the door was a little bit further away from the sign. So I finally found the bathroom, and I get in and I close the door and I just throw up all over the first class bathroom door on the inside of the bathroom. I just go bleh and blow chunks all over it. And then I turn around and blow chunks in the toilet. And then I was in the first class bathroom just crying, like covered in vomit, just trying to clean it up. It was a nightmare and I felt so bad. And then I had to go to the flight attendant and I was like, "I'm really sorry, but I threw up all over the door. I've tried my best to clean it up, but if you have any like disinfectant, I don't want anyone to get sick." Like they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Thank you for telling us. We'll clean it up." And then
most people probably don't tell them. So
yeah, they're like, "Thanks for letting us know. Like, we'll take care of it." And I cleaned it. Like, you couldn't see any throw up, but I was like, "Go in and disinfect that shit," because I threw up everywhere. And then as we were landing, I had to throw up into the like doggy bag. It was horrible. And my dad was sitting next to me and he goes, "Ellen, it's leaking. It's leaking." And like puts his hands under it to like catch it point because went into dad mode.
Yeah.
And then my mom brought out the other waste bag and put it was a whole thing, guys. Sorry for all the throw up talk.
Sorry
Trigger warning,
if
I
you're
guess.
like squeamish with that so kind of stuff.
If you guys have ever thrown up on planes, you know it's not fun. And once I have never been so happy to be in Philadelphia airport as that moment.
Did you kiss that dirty ass ground?
I was this freaking close. I was like, thank God I'm on land. I'm in Philly. I'm back home. Thank the Lord. I was so freaking happy. But yeah, it was a nightmare of a flight.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
But worth it because those memories are good memories.
Exactly. That's what I think about Nashville. You know, that plane ride home really tested my limits, but it was worth every second of it.
It really was. That trip was so freaking awesome. That was the best trip. And we saw Kenny Chesney and Zach Brown Band.
Whore for live music. So I was born for Nashville.
Yeah, that was so much fun. That was so much freaking fun. Yeah, so shout out Nashville.
Shout out Nashville.
Can't wait to go back to see the Coldplay concert. That's going to be
it's going to be so freaking epic.
I cannot wait for that concert. I've never been to a Coldplay concert.
Like one video of it, and now it's my entire TikTok feed.
Me and my fiance, we were like, should we go? Because my bachelorette weekend is the weekend before
That's what I'm scared of.
So we're like, that might be a lot. And also it's very expensive. And we're trying to save up for like house and car and wedding and stuff like that. So we're trying to save our money.
We have a week to recover.
Yeah. And we were like, should we go? Should we go? And my fiance was like, all right, let's look up videos of Coldplay concerts. Literally 0.1 second into the first video, we were like, book it.
You're going.
We're going.
You're going.
Because we both are big Coldplay fans, and my fiance's been dying to see Coldplay, and this might possibly be their last tour ever. So this is probably our last chance, maybe.
And just everything you see is life-changing experience. That's what everyone says. And that stadium is so sick too. I feel like it's going to be such a good stadium. I almost am happy we're in like the nosebleeds, as cool as it would be to be on like the floor, even though that's insanely expensive, insanely expensive. Like it'll be cool to be able to like look down and see everything.
And there's so many fireworks too. So we'll be closer to that, which what does your shirt say that you wore in Florida for 4th of July? What does it say?
I'm a MILF.
Yeah. And then it just says, Man, I love fireworks.
Oh, no, it doesn't say I'm a MILF. It just says MILF. Man, I love fireworks. Yes.
And that's us. Yes. We are big firework fans over here. Last year, 4th of July, we went to... The
funny thing is I actually hate fireworks.
I love fireworks. What the hell? Last year for 4th of July, we went down to Florida to visit some friends, and there was a huge, beautiful, amazing fireworks show, and the grand finale started happening, and I'm standing like by myself because the whole group is like sitting over on this like little curb, and I'm standing up like as close to the fireworks as I can be, and the grand finale starts going off. And I'm jumping up and down, just going, yeah, just
I witnessed
going
it.
Ballistic. I love fireworks. I love fireworks, man.
I need to give you my Man, I Love Fireworks
They just
shirt.
like make something happen. It like some sort of chemical reaction goes on in me where I like start shaking and that's me. Yeah, so I love fireworks. Because you love
to let your colors burst.
I do.
And you make them go, oh, oh, oh.
I sure do. So I can't wait for the fireworks at the Coldplay concert because I will be going ballistic. Yes, please. Yeah, so that'll be a really, really big fat.
For Coldplay, I'll enjoy fireworks.
Yeah, because it's gonna be time to music.
Yeah, it's
the whole experience is gonna be euphoric. Yeah. I can't freaking wait.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I'll probably cry.
Me too. We can cry together.
Okay, good.
So we have to sit next to each other so we can cry together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that stings, guys, is our whole group is going to be broken up. We could only get tickets in like 4 and 4 or 4 and 3 or
which
whatever
I mean,
it was.
It makes sense because there's like 7 of us, so it's going to happen that way.
It's going to stink to be separated, but we're going to figure something out. It's going to be fine. But yeah, we're really freaking excited for Nashville. And we're going to get to see my cousin perform. My cousin's a singer down there. And she's in a band called July Moon. So if you look up July Moon, check them out. They are really good. One of their contestants, one of their band members, Paige, was a contestant on this season of The Voice. So that's really exciting. So shout out July Moon, and I can't wait to see you guys perform live in your
I'm so
hometown
excited.
in Nashville. And everyone go check out July Moon and their music and their stuff because they are awesome, and they have some new songs coming out hopefully really soon. I can't wait for their one song to come out. It's like a freaking woman power anthem. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so freaking good. So I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for that song to come out, but I'll let you guys know when it does because it's really freaking good. Yeah, so July Moon and Nashville and awesome.
Drama.
And awesome. Should we transition into book talk?
I was gonna say, should we get into the books? Yeah, because I know you're struggling with Fourth Wing,
I'm struggling,
but you're
with
early.
it. I'm only on chapter 5. I haven't even finished chapter 5 yet. I'm like towards the end of it. I think I'm in the middle of it, wherever I am. But so they made it across the parapet, which was crazy because that one guy behind Violet just wants, his name's Jack or whatever. He just wants to kill her.
Oh my gosh.
And he's
scary.
being such a freak. But then the way Violet made it across and then immediately turned around and pulled a dagger and put it on his balls. And he was like trying to kill her and she's like, stop right there. That was pretty fun. I like that a lot.
I love feisty female main characters.
And so there's Zyard. What is his name? Zayden Ryerson. What's his name?
Zayden. I can't say.
Zayden.
I don't know if I say
Ryerson.
Zayden Ryerson.
Ryerson.
I don't know if I said that right.
I don't know
don't come at me. That's how I do it in my head.
And Dane Atos. I don't know if I say any of the names right.
I think that was pretty correct.
So
Dane and Zayden.
Yeah. So those are the two main boys right now, and her friend Rhiannon, who so far I like a lot. I have no reason not to like her so far. Oh, and Dylan. Their friend when they were going up the parapet, and he was like, he had the ring, the engagement ring. He's like, I'm not. She said it's bad luck to propose before I graduate. So the first day after I graduate, I'm proposing to her, and then he immediately fell off the parapet.
Literally,
and like immediately,
I was like,
I knew one of them wasn't
someone
gonna
had
make it.
to.
I knew one of the three of them wasn't going to
make it.
But yeah, so that was really sad.
Yeah.
But I wasn't attached enough to like shed a tear over it or really care that much.
But it was just kind of like, bye.
But so my fears right now.
Yeah, I can't give too much of a reaction to anything, but
I love Dane. I love him, and I think him and Violet are like a very like, we've been friends forever. We obviously love each other. There's obviously an attraction here. But then there's Zayden, and he's like supposed to be the bad guy who wants to kill her. My thought is Violet and Zayden are going to end up together. But my fear is that they're going to make me fall in love with Dane, and then he's going to turn into a Tamlin, and Zayden is going to turn into a Rhys. That's my fear right now. Where I love Dane, but I don't want to get attached to him, because what if he turns into a piece of shit like Tamlin? That's my fear. Because SJM has given me PTSD now. I don't want to fall in love with someone if I'm going to end up fucking hating them later.
That's literally how I feel with Crescent City right now. I'll talk about it when we switch over, but yeah, it's a tough one. I can't wait for you to.
But the reason I'm struggling so much is I do like the storyline so far. Like I do. But then when they're explaining like all the fantasy stuff and all the war stuff, and I just feel like I'm reading a different language. Like I feel like I'm supposed to be committing all this stuff to memory and like making sure I remember.
Don't even worry about it.
Okay. And
don't
also,
worry about
all
remembering
the names,
it. It'll
I'm
help
just reading
you.
over them like
yeah.
I'm not pronouncing anything in my head.
That's how I read fantasy.
If I try to, I'm going to be sitting there trying to pronounce one word for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Especially like once you meet like the dragons and stuff, trying to pronounce the dragon names.
I like that Dane's dragon's name is just Kath. I like that. That's easy.
Yeah.
I can say that. That's good. But all the other ones I cannot.
Yeah. So the way I've learned that I have to read fantasy books is when it comes to the world building, like I'll try and remember as much as I can, but at the same time I'm also like, it's no big deal if I don't remember it. Like if it's important, they're gonna keep re-explaining it, or I can kind of like look it up, especially when you're reading it on your Kindle. You can like if a name comes up that you don't remember, that you're like, oh, I should remember this, you type it in the top and it'll show you like the first place that showed up in the book. So for the most part, and maybe I can send you like some of the spoiler free like diagrams of how like the ranking system works and
Yes.
everything, so that way you don't feel like you have to keep up with that.
Yeah, because I'm very
but-
confused with all the ranks
Yeah,
and all the different
you just
sections.
have to vibe your way through any of the world building stuff. Just be like, meh,
Like,
with that.
I
But
feel like she said there were like a bunch of different sections, but for some reason I feel like the only one they're
Yeah.
talking about is the flame section or whatever it is,
Mhm.
whatever that's called. Like she's in the flame section. She was in the second wing, but then because
Mhm.
Zayden's in the fourth wing, he convinced them to move her thing to the fourth wing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm just confused. And
Yeah, don't feel like you really have to follow all of that. Just be there for the vibes. That's
okay,
the best
cool.
way
That's
to
what I'm
read
trying
it.
to do.
Yes.
But I'm such a perfectionist where I'm like, I need to
Mhm.
read every word and every sentence, and if I don't read it to the best of my
Yeah.
ability, I need to keep going back and reading it until I
Yeah.
completely understand it. So that's why I'm such a slow
Yeah.
reader too, because
Which-
of that.
I'll do that where like if I feel like I didn't get a single word, I'll reread it. But when it comes to like the history
Mhm.
and like the world building, if you want to try and theorize and pick out all the things that are gonna happen, then read word for word
I
because
don't like theorizing.
she puts so many tiny little hints throughout all of the book that like if you do pay attention and break down every fucking chapter,
Mhm.
it you know.
I like to be surprised though. Like I don't
do
like
too.
to try
So
to
that's
figure it out. 'Cause I
exactly.
like
That's
to be
why I'm
surprised.
saying, you know what, just read for the vibe,
Mhm.
get the main gist of everything, go for the plot. Once you get more into it, you'll
I feel
be
like the way she's setting up Zayden is so similar to the way SJM set up Reese,
Mhm.
where Violet thinks he's the most gorgeous specimen she's ever laid eyes on, and
It's
he's
like,
supposed to be like a
oh,
bad guy douche.
He's a horrible human. Why is he hot?
Yeah. Okay, if he's hot, he's gonna end up being the best. I just know it. But then again, apparently Tamlin's hot too.
That's true. You gotta remember that.
I don't.
Yeah,
I feel like
sometimes-
anytime I see
If
pictures
it's a
of him,
blonde,
I'm
I'm sorry.
like, me too. I'm just
The
not
second
into
I'm
it.
reading the story and I read that he's
I'm
blonde,
like, nope, no thanks.
I'm like,
I still always
I know
picture them
he's
brunette.
I'm like, he's not staying around.
Mm-mm.
If I'm reading a fantasy book, especially because fantasy books love their shadow daddies,
Mhm.
I'm reading a fantasy book, main character's blonde, I'm like, okay, he's not
Bye-bye.
lasting.
Bye bye.
He's gonna be on his way
Mhm.
anytime now.
I do really like the way Violet and Dane flirt with each other though, while still being
Mhm.
like Dane's like so
Yeah.
clearly protective of her, but he
Mhm.
still like will banter with her and flirt with her.
Yeah.
And I
Gotta
really
love the
like
little,
that.
and you love the childhood friendship.
I do
like,
love that
yeah.
storyline. I do
Yeah.
love that trope.
Yeah. Well, I guess you gotta just keep reading.
I
I
know.
can't wait for you to get into the freaking tension.
I know. I am very excited to like get it. Like I can tell that it's gonna be a really good book,
Yeah.
but
It's just
I
getting
hate
through
I
the
mean,
beginning.
It took me months and months and
Mhm.
months to
It
get
took
into
you
the
like
first ACOTAR book.
6 months to
Like,
read just ACOTAR.
Forever. It
Yeah.
took me forever to read that
Because
first book.
it was hard, you know, a lot of world building, which
Mhm.
this doesn't take quite as long as ACOTAR, in my
Mhm.
opinion, to get into the
Yeah,
fun
she's definitely
stuff.
better
So
at world building because
yes,
Vi's a scribe.
yes.
So she just like I remember you saying like, oh, she'll just start blurting out facts to like calm her down or
Mhm.
whatever, and that's what she did when she was crossing the parapet.
Yeah.
So
And it's
that
like
was-
that's kind of how she does the world building while
Mhm.
you're in the action, so you
Mhm.
don't have to wait 150 pages for the action to start.
Mm-hmm. And I hope her sister comes back into play because I liked her sister. She was cool. She
You'll
was
see her
fierce.
some.
So I'm hoping and looking forward to her coming back into
Mhm.
play. And I just can't. I'm very interested. Oh, the other thing I didn't like is the end of chapter 4. It ended with Dane had like they were supposed to be going to class, and
Mhm.
Dane was like, whatever, and Violet was like, oh, let me
Yeah.
go talk to Dane, whatever. And they talk in secret, and then he's like, all right, go to class, whatever. And she's walking to class, and Zayden sees the whole thing and starts like calling them out, and then Dane's like, run right now, go, run, Violet, and like she books it, and then the next
Mhm.
chapter just picks up, and she's sitting in class.
Yeah.
What the hell happened? Why did you end like that? I thought something crazy was going to go on. And then I go to the next chapter and she's just sitting in class, learning. Where's the action?
That's why you're struggling on this chapter. She's in class.
Guys, I dropped out of college. Okay, I don't do class. I don't do it.
You read she's sitting in class and you said, not for me.
Not for me. I went to maybe 7 classes senior year of college. I'm kidding. I went to more than that, but barely. I don't do class. I've never been a student. I've never been a good student. I don't get it, okay? So I don't like that she's learning things.
That's
even
part
though
of the
she's
reason why
killing
my
it in
week
class.
last week was so horrible. I had to be on campus. I hadn't been on campus since December. I sat in that lecture room that I sat in every single day for 2 years, and I was like, I feel sick to my stomach. I'm not even doing anything. I'm just listening to them give pointless presentations, and I feel sick to my stomach just because I'm sitting in this classroom
I still
right
have
now.
nightmares about like going back to like being back in high school.
Horrible.
And I remember being in high school and my mom being like, you know what my favorite part about going to work was? And she said coming home and I was done. I didn't have any homework. I didn't have any papers to write. I didn't have any projects to do. I was just done for the day. And then I went back to work the next day. And I think about that every single day almost. Like, and I always tell my mom, like, Mom, you're so right. That was the best thing you ever told me. Like, and every day through high school and college, I would just think about what my mom said, being like, when you work, you come home and you're done for the day. Unless obviously you're a teacher or you're like, you do have homework with work. But like, I don't. But I think about that every day, how I'm like, I get to sit here at home and I don't have any homework to do. I don't have any projects due. I don't have any papers to write.
And then your depression's gone.
It
you're
is,
like,
because I'm not in
no
school.
homework.
But Violet's really smart, and I'm jealous of her.
Yeah.
I just wish academics came naturally to me, and they don't,
Yeah,
okay? That's
I
just
feel
not my
that.
strong suit. I'm much better. I was literally born and bred to be a traditional housewife. I'm very good at cooking. I'm very good at cleaning. I'm very good at taking care of children. Those are my strong suits. I'm not smart academically, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about it, guys. I can't do it. It's never come easily to me, okay? There's nothing wrong with me. Please don't make fun of me. I'm not a nerd. I'm not a nerd. And I'm scared.
And that's why we're scared.
I'm scared all the time. When I'm at work, I'm just constantly like, I'm so scared right now. I'm so scared. And I've been at this job for 10 years. I can do this job in my sleep. And I'm just like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. And all the girls at work are like, why are you scared? I'm like, I don't
know. And now I'm scared.
I don't know. And I'll always come up to, I do it to you and I do it to our men all the time. I'm always like, are you scared? And you guys are like,
No.
I'm like, just in general, are you scared? You guys are like, no.
Except for me. I'm always like, yeah.
And I'll say that to like the people at work. I'll be like, are you guys scared right now? They're like, scared of what? I'm like, just in general. Like, are you feeling any sense of fear right now? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, then why am I? Is that just what anxiety is?
Yeah.
Do I just have severe anxiety?
Yes. And that's why I always say yes.
Yeah. No, I'm just scared. I just constantly have a sense of fear in me. And you know what? I've learned to live with it.
Yep. And now we're back on the trauma dumping.
Yes. Yeah, we love to trauma dump. That's honestly one of the things I need to work on is just not trauma dumping to strangers. But
Same, but
can't help. I'm a Pisces.
We can trauma dump together.
Yes,
you
we
know.
This is bothering me that this case, the little slip isn't on all the way.
Normally I take it off when I read books because it drives me crazy.
On my little iPad.
Yeah, I read Crescent City on my iPad. Let me talk about Crescent City.
Please do,
real
please
quick.
do.
Obviously I can't say too much because
I'm gonna read that
you're
shit.
gonna read it eventually, so I won't say too much. But I will say, fuck every single person who made me terrified to start Crescent City.
Yeah, fuck all you guys.
Yeah, she got my back.
I don't even know what it's about.
But so many people made me terrified to start Crescent City because they're like, oh, it's so boring. Oh, it's so much information. Oh, the first 200 pages of this book sucks. I ate that book, okay? I loved it. I was crying on page 50, okay? Page 50. That is the earliest I have ever cried from a book. I do not cry that early in a book. I cried... How many times did I cry? I only cried twice, I think, during the entire book. The ending of that book, you think the normal ending of an SJM book is crazy? My jaw was on the fucking floor
And
for
just the first book?
For 200 pages, my jaw was on the floor at the end of this book. Oh my gosh. Yes, I will say there was a lot of info dumping. Yes, there was a lot of just like stuff thrown at you with like how the city works and how the government works in the book and like all these gods and the magic and like, you know, and all the creatures and things. Yes, there was a bunch of info dumping, but at the same time, like I said to you, maybe it's just because of the way I read where I'm like gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and try and understand it because I'm going to get bored and I'm never going to read it. So I'm just gonna vibe my way through it, and if it's important, it will come back up again.
Exactly.
And if I read something and I was like, I feel like I remember this being mentioned, but I don't remember what it is, I just type it in my little search bar,
I need to get it on
and then it comes
Kindle.
up.
Do I
and
have
then
to pay for a Kindle subscription?
No, because you have you can just download the app and then send the file that you have to your Kindle app. I'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think it's just you just got to be like me if you're scared to read Crescent City and just vibe your way through the world building, because if you vibe your way through, then you're going to love it. And also thanks to SJM traumatizing me with knowing her history with like first loves and series and stuff like that. I've been so terrified to enjoy the male character in this book because I'm like, he has every element of like the main male character that sticks around and ends up being like the one they stick with, but it's the first fucking book. I'm like, there's no way, but he has all the elements of twist. He has all the elements of the kind of guy that sticks around. He's not blonde. He's got dark hair.
That's a good sign.
Yeah,
that's a good sign.
Exactly. He got lightning powers. He's got wings. He's a fallen angel.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So so fuck everyone who made me scared to read Crescent City because y'all said it was boring and I put off reading it for so long because I was so scared of reading it and I was so scared it was going to put me in a reading slump, and I ate that shit up and now I am addicted, and I'm reading it because everyone around me was reading SJM and I was jealous and I wanted SJM again. And let me tell you, the second I picked up that book again, I was like, I missed this.
I know. That's how I'm feeling with this is like it's not SJM. Like,
yeah.
I'm missing SJM a lot.
I just love her writing style because she makes it so easy to like read through and breeze through and vibe through. So it's easy to read, but it also does have the depth and the layers to it.
She makes her books so hard to put down. Like when I would be reading the books on vacation or whatever, my fiance would be like, okay, can we like go do something now? Can we go in the ocean? Can we go like do something? And I'm like, I cannot put this book down right now.
Like,
you have no clue what's going on in this world.
You realize if I put this down and I go do something else, I'm just going to be thinking about the book.
Like, she makes her book so hard to put down where I know I'm literally on chapter 5. But so far, this book has been so easy to put down.
Yeah. As you get more into it, it'll be hard. I read Fourth Wing in one day.
I'm just not a good reader. Okay.
It was also over the summer when I read Fourth Wing. I had nothing else going on. Or no, was it over the summer? When did I read it? I don't know. I didn't have anything going on when I read Fourth Wing. No, it was. I was in school when I read Fourth Wing.
Okay, so you're just better than me.
No, I didn't give a fuck about my classes at the time, so I was kind of reading to avoid it, and because I knew I had school during the week, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and read Fourth Wing, and I could not put it down, like, because I read to the part where I was hooked on it, and then once I was hooked on it, I'm like, I literally can't put this book down, and I read it in a day.
I know. I got into, when I was reading ACOTAR series, I got into the habit, especially for Silver Flames, of reading during my downtime. Like, instead of sitting there and watching TV or doing something else, I would read. And then I was like, okay, well, I need to take a break. I need to mourn the loss.
The grief hit you.
And I got out of that habit. And also, I've become completely addicted to a game on my iPad called Good Sorting Match 3. I cannot stop playing it. Anytime I have free time, that's what I'm doing.
That happens
I'm
to
on
me.
level like 270. I literally cannot fucking put it down. I'm so addicted to this game. So now I need to retrain myself again to stop playing Good Sorting Match 3 and start reading my book. Because the other thing about Good Sorting Match, I could put on a show and be playing Good Sorting Match. And so that was a lot of fun for me. And I need to retrain myself to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I need to start reading again on my downtime because that is better for me and my brain and my electricity bill.
True.
And my Wi-Fi.
You just gotta get back into the habit. Once you truck through the.
I was reading it. I couldn't
beginning.
sleep the other night, and I decided to read it, and that was fun for me. That was like the most I've enjoyed reading it. Was my fiance was asleep, and it was really late at night, and I was like, I cannot fall asleep.
I love reading before bed.
I was reading, and then I fell asleep swiftly.
Yeah.
I mean, I read like a full 2 chapters, and I was like, okay, I'm getting a little sleepy. I'm gonna go sleep.
Yeah, I pretty much normally read until I fall asleep every night. I'm like reading, and then I'm like, and then I wake up and my iPad's in my hand.
I'll read, and then I'm like, I'm reading the same sentence over and over again.
I'll do the thing where I like close my eyes and like open them, and I'm like, what's happening? Wait, I was reading? Oh, I guess I should go to bed. Maybe I don't know what happened on this page.
I don't even know what even went on the page. Whittaway. I mean, Whittaway. So that's pretty much what happened.
But I have a question for you guys, quick. So we are eligible to do memberships now. So we were thinking about maybe if you guys would be interested in some bonus content, if you guys would be interested if we did memberships and if we did the memberships, what kind of content you'd like to see on that. So just want to throw that out there. Let us know if anybody
we need to come up. If you
would
guys
enjoy
would be
it.
interested
if
in
you guys
that.
are interested, because we're eligible for it now, so we can do it.
What would you
and
guys
get
want to see?
Exclusive content.
Like, I don't know. I don't even have any ideas, to be honest.
Yeah, because I mean,
I have ideas, but I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, those ideas are for the future.
Yeah, they're for future times. Anyway, I guess that's our episode.
That's it. Make sure you like and follow and leave us a review on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. Like, comment.
Share with your best friend.
Share.
Share with
TikTok.
other book girls in your life and other girls and people in your life.
Give us more book recommendations.
Please give me the courage and strength to continue on with Fourth Wing, guys.
Tell her how fucking hot and spicy Fourth Wing gets, and she'll...
I want the spice.
The tension in Fourth Wing.
Tension. Is there a slow burn?
Yeah. Girl, the tension. One of my favorite scenes in this book is not even like an actual spicy scene. It's just the tension in the scene is so...
I love tension.
The tension. It's...
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
They're like sparring on the mat, and the tension.
That's what they're about
crazy.
to do now. Is they're about
they
to
do
have
it
their
plenty.
first.
They do it many a time.
But this is going to be their first sparring match or whatever.
But so
my nose is itchy.
Just you wait. Okay. Anyways, sorry, got distracted thinking about the girls who know that the scene I'm talking about understand why I got distracted there. Anyways,
we love you. Say
love
it back.
You. Say it to both of us.
And we will see. Sorry about missing last week, but you have to understand we're just girls. Okay, we're just girls. You have to understand.
Okay, we were just girls on our periods.
And
being traumatized.
We'll see you next time, and we love you. And goodbye. And we're just girls. Yeah. Yes. That was good stuff.